Reynolds from Keat TV. We got Dave Vandemark and Lucille Vineyard, all part of this new special that Keat is putting together. Going to be airing on Sunday about our national parks. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming in. And so Claire, if you could, before we meet our guests, give us just a little 411, a little information on what this is all about.
Okay. KTV was awarded a grant to create a documentary on our local national park, Redwood National Park, as a complement to the Ken Burns series, America's Best Idea. And so we've spent the good part of the summer out interviewing rangers and people working in restoration and some of the incredible local heroes who just really sacrificed and dedicated their lives to saving the last of the old growth forest and working to preserve that watershed that's now Redwood National Park. And so we cover a bit of the history and the establishment and the expansion, and then some of the restoration work that's going on today to take out all the logging roads and take the all of the passages that in the creeks that were created so that logging trucks could roll through creeks. They're working tirelessly to take that out, and thinning forests and burning prairies, and lots of really fascinating science going on up at the park. So it was a great pleasure to be able to highlight some of that work to save the redwoods by setting aside the land, but also saving them by making a better environment for them in the future.
Fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it. Now, let's meet some of the folks we got here in the studio. Lucille Vineyard. Am I saying that right?
You're saying it right.
Oh, that's good. I know I didn't want to say Lucy because you said you'd punch into it when it says that. So you are described as a redwood warrior. What does that mean?
Well, it means I was just as anxious as a lot of other people that learned about the problem that the redwood forests were in to get out and do something about it. And it was a matter of bringing awareness to the local people to get support and try to carry on with the campaign that started with the Sierra Club and Save the Redwoods League. And so we just took it from there as we could.
Now, you've been working on this for quite a while.
Well, since 1964.
That's a while.
That's a while.
That is a while. I was just a youngin' back then. So, and you've been going strong. Now you're what, 90 years old?
I'm 90 years old, almost 91.
Wow. Well, congratulations, and you've been doing a great job. Let's
Thank
also
you.
meet Dave Vandemark. How are you doing, Dave?
Hello.
Hello. Let's give a little background on you.
Well, I came up to Humboldt County in 1963 just to, shall we say, be a regular resource major, and thought, the redwoods were either all saved or all already logged off, and so there was really no involvement there. I didn't know any environmentalists, but I soon, just doing my own exploration, discovered, wow, there's some really, really beautiful country here. And I soon met the vineyards and met other Sierra Club people and, shall we say, joined the fray. And that's from about 1965 to 68, it was just nonstop hecticness to get the park established. And then later, in the years before 1978, when it was expanded, another intense round of activity. So about 13 years of that time, I was doing a lot of photography and documenting the impacts and the beauty of the original proposed park, the park as it was first established, and then the damage that was being caused to it. Well, after the Redwood Park was expanded, of course, we had a great deal of activity that was in effect ongoing at the same time regarding the Trinity Alps primitive area and its proposed expansion, and I was the actual environmental coordinator for that process, and also helped create ad hoc groups that worked on the Siskiyou Mountains in Del Norte and Siskiyou County. So I became very active in the in the wilderness.
We've seen forest practice rules changed. We've seen people worried about the fish. As we know, it's ongoing right now on the Klamath as well as most of our Northern California streams. And it's so there's been a lot gained, but there's still a lot more to protect. And the environmentalists aren't going to stop.
No.
There's too much support now. There's a whole nother generation that is learning about clean water and clean air and pollution of water, and so it's just a whole new ballpark, so to speak.
So what would you say are the next big hurdles, the next big steps to be worked on?
Restoration, I think, is the name of the game now. As has been mentioned, the work that's going on is remarkable in Redwood National Park, particularly in Redwood Creek, and which is an easy access for most people, and has beautiful trails for people to enjoy. And to me, I think that's the main thing is restoration, because we've got all this beauty and all these wonderful resources that just some of them just need protection.
Dave, your thoughts?
Well, Humboldt County is growing a lot, and I still think there's a need for some more protection right around the periphery of Eureka and Arcata itself. And to me, I think of that McKay tract and some of the other tracts of land that are being proposed perhaps for real estate development and things like that. I certainly hope that some of that land can be set aside as open space, and eventually, when there's money again, developed with trails and whatnot. I hope it doesn't all fall to real estate.
It's been a real eye-opener for me, and maybe for some other folks who've been watching the Ken Burns National Parks program, is that it really has taken, and probably every national park, but certainly Redwood National Park, private citizens going out and lobbying Congress and documenting the beauty of a special place, and also the value, but also the danger to these places that actually provide resources and money-making opportunities. And it really does take private citizens, which was a real surprise to me, to lobby the federal government to actually protect these places. And it was really inspiring to hear their stories and how dedicated they were and how hard they worked and to make it happen. And hopefully people will be inspired to follow their example as well.
Dave, you got a thought?
Well, I kind of was amazed that I found within myself the ability to start promoting something almost single-handedly, to explain the tallest trees were about 8 miles up the Redwood Creek Canyon, and they were the centerpiece of proposed Redwood Park. But beyond the tallest trees, further up the canyon, there was an area that was the most intact part of Redwood Creek, from ridge down the river to the opposite ridge. For a 2-mile stretch of river, it was just absolutely exquisite wilderness beauty, and yet it was kind of being ignored because all the concentration were on just a grove around including the tallest trees. And so I started calling that area the Emerald Mile, which actually was even more than a mile, and describing its qualities and things like that. And we ended up having a hearing in Eureka where Wayne Aspinall of Colorado brought his Interior Committee out, and we basically, in a friendly way, kidnapped 5 of the congressmen and flew them by helicopter into this beautiful area, dropped them off, let them wander around in a grove all by themselves, and then several of them said, well, they were willing to walk back to the tallest trees, wading down the stream, and really experiencing the whole watershed firsthand. And the next day at that hearing, all 4 or 5 of those congressmen were now very much for the original park to be expanded further up the canyon to include this Emerald Mile. And so that was a very, very wonderful achievement.
Claire, before we wrap up, once again, tell everyone when the special is going to be airing.
Okay, Redwood National Park Preserving Ancient Forests will have its premiere on Sunday, October 4th at 7 p.m. and it will be re-aired on Thursday, October 8th at 8 p.m. and Saturday, October 10th at 4 p.m. And it's also part of the Wild Rivers 101 Film Festival, and we'll be screening it with hopefully we'll have these wonderful Redwood Warriors with us at the screening, and that's going to be at the Arcata Playhouse in the old Creamery building at 6 p.m. on October 8th.
Fantastic. And this is a 100% local production. You guys
100.
did this all yourselves.
Oh yes.
Great.
Well, with the help of a lot of people from the park and great folks like Lucille and Dave.
But a pure Humboldt grown